Madison Beer is? Like, do you know who Madison Beer is? Are you, like, okay? Like, she literally makes me...
One guy's low, I killed him. $142.
He goes, yeah, but she seems nice and hot. Like it. Alright, I wish I could say it didn't affect our relationship, but his fans' words cut deep, and I was already insecure enough. Hearing it over and over again only perpetuated my already underlying. And then again, between 14 and 15 years old at a party in LA. Oh my god, she was sexually assaulted at 15 too. That's so sad.
Damn. That's sad.
Oh my god. So that was when her whole nudes thing happened too. That's so sad.
Crazy.
The trauma from those incidents still affects me daily. I believe it will be a part of me forever. Regardless of this, it is all so overwhelming and upsetting. And no matter what traumas I have endured, nobody, not even my boyfriend, knew about them. You could see why these comments affected me so deeply. When I got brought on as an opening act for my boyfriend's concert, I was riddled with anxiety on the days leading up to the performance. I was only supposed to go on stage for 15 minutes and into tears. Madison, what is going on? What's wrong? She was understandably confused, and having her 16-year-old daughter call her inconsolable from states away probably made her assume all the worst scenarios. I can't do it. I managed through my tears, standing up and pacing the small hotel room. You have to call my manager, tell him this was a stupid fucking idea. I can't go on stage tomorrow or refuse. Madison, why? What happened? Nothing happened, Mom, but they all hate me. They all hate me so much. I stopped at the window and drew the curtains open, looking down at the empty seat below. If there had been a crowd outside the hotel with torches and pitch, hard to encourage me and help me realize that it would all be okay. I think you should go out and hold your head high. I think you've got this, but if you want to back out, I will support your decision. You're going to be the one who tells your manager. My mom said you need to explain all this to him yourself. I can't be the middleman. You don't get it. Goodbye, I muttered frustratedly. I can't stand it. My own mother didn't understand where I was coming from. I felt so alone. I knew I wasn't being dramatic and unreasonable, but I also knew, as much as the crowd scared me, that I couldn't muster the courage to call my manager and back out the last minute. Not the night before, not when I'd already flown out here for the occasion. My mom was giving me tough love, but she was right. There were moments that I needed to face my fears head on. There were moments that I needed to face my fears head on and push through despite my anxiety, and this was one of them. Everyone already knew I was scheduled as the opening act. If I backed out, it would be announced publicly, and that would give everyone an open invitation to speculate why. I didn't want to give any of the haters more of a reason to dislike me, to call me unprofessional or spread rumors that I backed out of performing because I was scared. I needed to swallow my pride and get it over with. So I didn't get much sleep that night, but when the day of the performance came, I stepped down on stage and no one booed. People clapped and cheered. There were a few unfriendly faces in the crowd, sure, but all the nightmare scenarios I'd spent hours playing out didn't happen. What really helped ground me was seeing that the people in the audience were real people. Online, when they can hide behind a profile picture and a fake name, they seemed so much more intimidating. Looking out at the crowd helped put some things into perspective. I got off stage most happily to have it gotten over with, but also feeling a little embarrassed with myself for how much time I'd wasted the night before, turning today into a nightmare. One of my favorite quotes is simply, "Your anxiety is lying to you." I try to keep a mental list of all the times where I proved my anxiety wrong so I can look back at them when I'm in the same anxiety-blinded headspace. I use it as a way of rewiring my brain. I think that's a healthy balance between challenging your anxiety and pushing yourself into a situation you can't handle. But when I feel like it's manageable, I continue to seek out situations that will stretch the boundaries of my comfort zone. For me, it's about being aware of where that comfort zone is, exactly where it ends, and making the conscious decision to do something to step outside of it. So having a comfort in the safe way out of it gets too overwhelming. I set small goals just to prove to my brain and my body that positive experiences can come from facing your fears. I'm scared about going to a party with a bunch of people I don't know. I try to make it a mission to have a good conversation with one stranger, to walk away from the night with at least one positive memory. So the next time I enter a room full of strangers, I could say to myself, hey, the last time you did this, you made a friend.
That's it.
There are small victories, but there are victories regardless. And now whenever I
This is
have a
far.
crowd that I'm scared to perform to, I think back at the moment and remember how shocked I was that it went positively. And I use it to combat my anxiety. Repeating that pattern over and over has helped restrain my brain from assuming every new situation will end up in the worst case scenario. But even when things don't turn out the way I want, where I might be slightly uncomfortable or embarrassed, no sour moment is ever anything close to the nightmare disaster my anxiety builds them up to be in my head. Blur. Untangling anxiety. Let me tell you about a time, tell me about a time where your anxiety was proven wrong. Hold on to it. Is there something you're anxious about now that if you try to combat it in a manageable, healthy way? If so, then what? Understanding the root of our anxieties detail by detail, broken down in my experience, can help a lot. Deconstruct it and prove it wrong. Oh god, this is the one that's... Should I get to this next thing?
Are you on the next chapter?
On the next chapter, but I'm trying to see how long this goes for.
Yeah.
This is like a 15-page thing.
Still the right?
I've got best life.
Okay, this is the next thing. So, yeah. So it's not me, it's you. Out of everything I went through as a result of my sudden rise to fame, having my private nudes leaked at 15 was one of the most traumatizing. It still haunts me almost a decade later.
Fucking win, let's
Every time I think I'm fully healed, another side